found Santa Claus at the Micro Maidens.
Santa! Oh my God! Santa here? I know him. I know him.
Look what I found. Check this out.
Hey there, welcome back. Hoping this video is a little entertaining because it's going to be possibly a little bit different than the last few I've been doing. And that's because I'm in Everett, which I don't go to Everett very often, at least not anymore. But I'm going to be in Everett, and I'm going to an event that I don't know if it's going to be appropriate enough for me to put on YouTube. I might be doing a recap of it afterwards because I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen. But it's going to be an interesting affair, and it's going to be probably hilarious. But this will give you a clue of what I'm going to be doing today. And there's a story behind this t-shirt too. But it'll be kind of fun. I like to do wild and wacky things, and just, I don't know, rather than staying at the house and watching TV or just listening all the time, I try to, experience life and find unusual things that make great stories later. So that's why I'm in Everett. Other than that, I have like an hour and a half to kill before the event starts. So I decided I would swing by the South Everett Mall Goodwill. I can't talk. Anyway, South Everett Mall Goodwill. And I'm going to do a car change challenge because I did one a while ago. It worked out really well. I figured I'd do that again. I counted up the change in the car and put it in a baggie to make it more convenient. And I had $5.70 in the car. But honestly, after going to the post office, I stopped by Safeway, grabbed something to sip on, which then knocked me down to $4.60 that I have to find something inside the Goodwill that I can flip for good money. So that is the challenge. We're going to go in here. This is a Goodwill that I don't go to very often, maybe twice a year, because I honestly don't go into Everett like I used to. I used to work in Everett. I lived in Mukilteo for a while, and I was down this way all the time, but that was years ago. Now I'm lucky if I'm in this area twice a year, and usually when I am, I stop in, but it's enough to where I'm not familiar with the store. I'm not 100% like where the layout is. I'm not entirely sure like what kind of items the store tends to have compared to other stores, because even though every Goodwill and thrift store tends to have a good mix of everything, if you resell enough, you'll realize that certain stores will tend to lean to certain items. Like I have my Goodwills I go to for toys that have way more toys than other Goodwills have. So we'll see. I don't know what this one's going to have. I don't know what I'm going to find. $4.60 is not a lot of money to thrift with and find something, but I do believe it's enough, because last time I spent less than that and I was able to find some stuff. So we're going to get in there. We'll see what we find. And all right, I'll see you inside. Trying to make my way to the toy section, but there's a bunch of kids there going crazy, so I'm going to wait. I don't want to say that Goodwill won this time, but they might. This is all I found so far. It's about a $20 plush, but he's very long tailed. There's only like a couple of comps, and there's no price on him, so he might not even be in the budget. There's just not much here. Sucks. And finally, the kids have died down. There's a group of kids that are going just crazy, screaming and yelling, and the babysitters or parents or whoever they are not watching them, so they just took them all to the restroom. There's finally some peace in here. This Goodwill's nuts, man. Alright, back at it. Alright, I'm pushing this one back, because I think I just found the winner. I beat Goodwill. Check these out. So, I wish I could buy each of them. I would. I'd lot them together and sell them all together, but since we only have 460 to play with, we're only going to get one. This one has the highest comp, which I will show here in the video. Fits the budget. $3.99. All right, we are back from the Goodwill. Man, that challenge was actually kind of tough, because that store, I was not familiar with it. They didn't have a lot of really good things, to be honest with you. Their toy sections were really small. Everything was like higher price than what I'm normally seeing at the Goodwills I go to. It seemed like, anyways, maybe not, but I swear their stuff was like way more expensive. And all I could find I checked VHS, I checked DVDs, I did a little bit of clothing checks, which I'm not a big clothing person, but I know some of the main brands that do really well. And every brand that I picked up that would have done well, they had priced up to like 12, 16, crazy numbers. And I was like, there's just no way for what I do that works. I didn't look at shoes. Quite honestly, I don't like shoes. I've had some bad experiences selling shoes, and it's just something I try to avoid. I know there's money there, but it's just not my thing. Plus, I keep most of my inventory in my room or next to my room, and the last thing I need is to have a bunch of smelly shoes next to where I'm living. So I just don't do it. But yeah, no, I had that stuffed animal. It was 2000s, Pull My Finger Fred, I think was the name of it. It comped for about $20. But it would have been really long tailed. There was only a couple, I think, that sold. One of them was brand new, one was used. And out of all of eBay, there's only 2 on there, which means that it would have sat for like a year. But, I was like, gonna go for it. I was like, well, there's no price tag on it. So possibly they would sell it for a couple dollars like some Goodwills do, but maybe they would have priced it up because it had like an electronic component to it. It might not have even worked for the challenge. Then I was going through the collectible knick-knack area where it's kind of like the collecting basket for all the crap they think is collectible. And so you got your like snow globes and your little figurines and things like that, and your candles and all that. They had some figurines in there that were like, there's 2 that were bagged together because they had a little crystal on them. It was like $10, and like, just looking at that, I was like, there's no way I would pay that for a little tiny, like literally it was like a tiny thing. But then I saw these F1 cars on plaques sitting there on the shelf. There's 3 of them. All were $3.99 tagged. And so I scanned one. I saw it sold for like $14, $15, $16, right around there. Had really good like comps where there was like repeat buys. So it wouldn't sit for very long. And I was like, okay, I'm going to switch to that. But then I was like, I'm going to check these individually because they're all different drivers, different cars. Some of them look like different events. And I noticed that this one had some different graphics on it. Kind of tell like on the nose fin and stuff. So when I scanned this one, the first comp that popped up was like in the $70 range, and then below was everything from 20 to 70. Some really, really good comps on it. So this is the one I'm doing the challenge with. But yeah, no, this is a good find for sure. It came out to $4.35 by the time it was all said and done. So it's kind of funny. I told the lady what I was doing and I apologized for using a bunch of change, and she didn't care, and got in the conversation with her about kind of what I was doing and why I was doing it, and we're counting out the change, and she's like, oh, I love your t-shirt. Like, she's like, I'm not a midget, but I'm short. I was like, well, I mean, I explained, I was like, so here's the story with this t-shirt. I'll explain it now. About a year and a half ago, I went to a midget wrestling event in Olympia, Washington, just for the fun of it. By myself. I mean, I'm kind of run solo nowadays. But I had a lot of fun. It was really entertaining. They really put a lot of effort and work into making it fun for the crowd. And so I bought this t-shirt to support them because I don't know if midget's the right term nowadays, or little people, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Like, these people, they run the company. They promote themselves. They are the actors in the show. It's how they make a living. It's how they, feed their families and whatnot. And so it was a worthwhile cause, I felt, because they worked for it and they deserved it. The event I'm going to tonight, it's a Micro Maidens show. I'm not sure exactly if it's like a burlesque type show or if it's going to be a striptease show. I don't believe there's any nudity because you'd have to have special permits and stuff for that. And it's not an event center. So I don't think it's going to be anything like that. But if it's anything like the wrestling match, it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of rowdy people there to see. I'm hoping I can take the camera in there and film some of it. I paid for VIP seats to help support them. And plus it's a better seat. So I'm going to be front row. I'm supposed to get like a poster of all of them. And I think I get like a signed poster from whoever the favorite maiden is that I have. So we're going to get that. It's going to be fun. I'll share that, and then we'll see if I can do any footage. I can't even talk. We'll see if I can do any footage of it, And then, yeah, we'll get back to the house and I'll wrap it all together in a video. And then the next portion of the video will be the what sold at the end of the weekend. And then this will post on Monday. So, yeah, I hope you're enjoying the videos. Please give me a subscribe, like in the comments, all that fun stuff. And I'll chat with you later. Ciao. All right, it was like 40 minutes before the show starts. There's already a line standing at the door and no parking in the front. So glad I came early. But I had to park a little ways away. Walking in, it's just next door. I hate parking somewhere else in Everett because Everett's kind of a, I don't know, has issues sometimes. But I think I'll be okay. So yeah, I'll get in there. I'm probably going to be switching to the GoPro because my phone doesn't hold a whole lot of memory nowadays, unfortunately. I need a new phone. But yeah, we'll switch to GoPro. I'll try and make it more stable so it's not bouncing all over the place like when I did the garage sale video. But yeah, let's get in there. Hey guys, so you never believe what I just found, or who I just found. I found Santa Claus at the Micro Maidens.
Welcome to the stage. Before we bring out the ladies, I'd like to know, on a scale from 1 to 7, how many booties can you handle in your face at the same damn time? He'll take them all. In that case, we're going to bring them out right now. But first, a quick shout out to Global and Fun Size Productions for bringing us out here to Everett. Please give a big round of applause to Patrick and Tammy with Global and Fun Size Productions. They brought us here. They're our only Northwest promoter who lets us know where the right spots are. Don't forget to visit the food trucks in the front. And huge appreciation everyone who came out here tonight to support us. For now, make some noise for the Micro Maidens.
All right. Oh, no, it's not all right. I'm out of cash. Hey, you take bank cards?
Sure.
Can I get stamps too? Giggity, 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 ooh, ee, ooh, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang. Ooh, ee, ooh, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang.
Yeah, no joke. With Santa Claus. It's awesome. Seemed like a pretty nice dude, but this is the last place I expected to see Santa Claus. Oh man, definitely not something appropriate enough for me to put on YouTube, so I'll have to just do a recap on it. It's actually not quite over. I left early because I have a lot of listing to do, and I don't know, I just, quite honestly, I worked at a couple nightclubs throughout my life as a floor manager, as a doorman, and so let me get around this car real quick. Anyways, what I was saying is I worked at a couple of clubs throughout the years as a floor manager and as a doorman, and like, I don't know, just like the striptease thing is just not my thing. Like, I just don't, I don't know, it was a fun event, went to a good cause, but quite honestly, I have other things I could be doing, and I got to show off the t-shirt a little bit. I did get some memorabilia, so I think it was a mission success, but it's time for me to be an adult and get back to work. But, yeah, anyways, I'll see you back at the house, I guess. Cheers. Let's wrap up this weekend with the sales from the last few days. But before I go that real quick, I had something interesting happen today, and I'm kind of wondering if I handled it wrong at the very beginning, and I felt kind of bad, so I ended up messaging the potential customer, well, is a customer, a second time. But so I had an item sell on Friday the 21st, and I'd always do 3-day shipping on my items. I just found with life gets away from you sometimes, and so the 3-day window gives a little bit of cushion, makes it a lot less stress to get things out the door and whatnot, and just it's less potential for things to go wrong. Anyway, so I sold something on the 21st, and I was planning on having it shipped today, which I just packaged it, and it's going to go out in the mail tomorrow. But the customer sends me a message this morning, and we're like, hey, the item we bought from you that you sent us doesn't work. We put new batteries in it, It's still not working. We'd like to get a refund. How do we go about getting this back to you? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking to myself, my knee-jerk reaction is like they're trying to scam me, because I sent them a message and I'm like, so I'm just quick question, but how is it an item you bought from me doesn't work when I haven't shipped it to you yet? So I'm like, I thought about it afterwards, like an hour later, they didn't respond. An hour later, I'm like, oh man, that kind of came off like kind of mean. Like I probably shouldn't be like that, because it could be an honest mistake. Like, so I emailed again. I was like, hey, I'm assuming that you bought more than one item and you mistaked me for a different buyer, or a different seller, excuse me. And then I didn't hear anything more. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna ship it. And then I took a video of the product working with batteries in it and everything like that, so that if anything comes up after I've shipped it and sent it to them, I could show eBay, like, look, hey, like they contacted me before the item was even shipped, trying to say it was not working. I sent it anyways. They didn't communicate with me. Now they're claiming something again. Here's a video of it working. So I feel like I have a pretty strong case. Grant, I'm probably not going to push too much, because it's only like a $20 item, right? But still, it just one of those things where you're going to deal with it no matter where you go. It's way safer on eBay, honestly, than like Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is full of people trying to undercut you, scam you, flake out on you. I really try to avoid doing any business on Facebook Marketplace unless I'm picking something up from someone for like a free curbside pickup kind of deal. But I try to avoid doing anything on Facebook unless I absolutely have to. But anyway, so I emailed the second time, didn't hear anything back. I went ahead and sent the item to them, and it'll be in the mail tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I don't know. Do you think I handled that wrong? With that knee-jerk reaction, was that like totally like off the wall and I shouldn't have acted that way? I kind of feel like I was in the wrong how I reacted. But I think I just overthink things sometimes. I don't know. Anyways, so sales this weekend. I had 11 sales. Nothing crazy price-wise. Everything that was pretty much everything that sold were lower dollar amount items that were from the older death pile inventory that's been now in the system, which so it doesn't surprise me that stuff's starting to rotate through the sales, because that's what's hitting the algorithm. But I did make money. I only had 2 items that I lost money on. One was like 64 cents, so not a big deal. Like I've said before, that'll probably turn into a positive review. Those tend to do that. The other one I took a hit on was actually a couple of videos ago when I did the free Facebook pickup. There was the car, and then there was a Lego set that came with the bag of toys that were free. This person had put a offer for $10 on it, which was way below what I had put, because I think I listed it for let's see, where's it at here? Sorry, excuse me. Like $28.98 is what I had it listed for. They offered 10, which is way below, so I don't take those typically. But this person emailed me and basically explained that they were going through some health issues, some financial issues, and they were just trying to find a good deal to give their son a good birthday. And the purchase was for a birthday present. Now, they could be full of crap and just trying to spit something out there to try to get a really good deal. That does happen. But also it could be true, right? And one of the things I enjoy about selling toys and plush is there are opportunities where you can make a kid happy. I've had parents reach out and say, hey, my son, my daughter lost their favorite doll or their favorite stuffed animal at the airport. You have one in your store that's exactly like we're looking for. Is there any way I can get a deal on this and get shipped out right away? So, the kid doesn't realize it, or whatever the story is. And so I've made deals that way to try and make kids happy, because it's a benefit to this category of items. So, I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I got this item for free, so there's no overhead to me. It's going to cost me I think, end of the day, I think I lost $2.94. So they're getting a really good deal if it is truly for their son. Kid's going to have a good birthday present. I'm not losing big money because I got it for free. It's only costing me $3 to send it to this child. So I'm like, whatever, fine. write it off. So I sent it out. Hopefully they're telling the truth, and hopefully it's going to a good cause, and kids can have a good birthday. But so those are the only two losses I had for this period. I had a let's see here, Octonauts electronic button that you push and it makes noise and stuff, and I think you could program it. That was listed for $28.98, and it sold for full price after shipping and eBay fees and everything. Profit on that was $12.13. After that, I had some Bluetooth wireless headset pieces. I used to do sales for a little while on the phone, and so it was a wireless thing. I had one that was brand new in the box and one that I used for a little while. I lumped them together, sold them together. I had it listed for $39.98. Took an offer of $25 to get it out there. Again, I had zero into it basically because it was sitting on my shelf, not being used. Then I had the digital vintage poker game, which was the item that the person was saying was damaged. That was listed for $18.98, and I said sold for full price. So we'll see how that transaction works out. With that, I made $4.90 after shipping. Then there was a Plants vs. Zombies. I had two little figurines. It was part of my old inventory. I believe they came in like a bag full of little knickknacks and figurines and stuff. I had them listed for $12.98, and they sold for $10. Took an offer on that. That was one of the ones where after shipping costs, I ended up losing 64 cents. And again, I probably would have made money on that if I had known what the buy-in cost was, but that's one of the dangers of having a death pile is you can lose track of what your buy-ins are and stuff if you're not keeping good track of your receipts and things. And I had some receipts get lost, and I ended up just putting it all together in one inventory and then dividing it by the number to get a baseline of what each per unit item cost was. So some were way cheaper, some were a lot more. So some are losing money on paper. Then the Walgreens nose things that I had like 15 of them in a set, individually wrapped. Those sold, and I had those listed for $29.98. I took an offer for $20 on those, so by the end of the day, I made $3.97. Then I had a group of Octonauts Mattel from 2010, and those were for sale for $16.98. Those sold for full price, and by the time those sold, I made $4.02. Then I had a couple of My Little Ponies sell individually. One was listed at $16.98. One was listed at $28.98. Both sold for full prices. Made $4 off of one and $12 off the other. Of course, then there was a Lego set, which I already explained what happened with that. And then I had a piece that goes to a crib set. It's like an activity thing for a baby to mess with and whatnot. Had that listed for $18.98. Took it off for $14. Made 32 cents off of it. And then I had a How to Train Your Dragon figure that sold. I had it $19.98. It was listed, sold for full price, and I ended up making like $6.40 off of that. In total, for the last few days, I made $56.72. Like I said, not a lot of money. And that's going to start changing as the new inventory starts getting put on. I have a big stash of inventory I've been going through. About half of the new inventory has SKUs, is ready to be photographed. The other half I'm going to be working on later tonight. So once those start getting photographed and start getting listed, we will see those numbers increase because the stuff I've been buying is a little bit different with structure, different point prices and whatnot. So 11 items sold, and with everything from the buy-in costs, the shipping costs, and the the eBay fees, and then comparing that with the sold prices, it's a return on investment of roughly 37%. So I think that's pretty close to what the last what sold was. So pretty consistent with, I would say, between a 30 to 48% return on investment for doing eBay. I definitely need those numbers up, but I think we're on track in the right direction. And most importantly, I'm having fun doing it, right? It gives me something to do on my spare time. It's better than playing video games, in my opinion. It gets me out of the house, gives me something to do on the way home. So, anyways, hope you enjoy the video. And if you like these videos, please give me a subscribe. I'd love to see some more people subscribing to this. Please feel free to interact by leaving a comment. I will reach out back to you. And yeah, hope you enjoy it. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers.